Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. I hope you're all doing very well and I hope you had a nice New Year's Eve. Last night I decided to make 3 appetizers, a main dish, and dessert. And by 11 I was like completely exhausted. Yes, and also I don't know how to share my screen and then go back to not sharing it. So since I'm going to be sharing my screen a lot today, I want to show you my reading stats for 2021. I had to share something. So here's this nice little photo to wish you Happy New Year. Also, I want to tell you about my reading goals for 2022. So that will be at the very end of the video, right after I share my reading stats. A couple of days ago, I was watching Jack Edwards, and in one of the videos, he shared that he discovered an alternative to Goodreads. It's called Storygraph. It's still pretty new. I think they made it last year, and I don't know if I recommend it yet because I still haven't used it enough to be able to recommend it. So I want to give you maybe an update on that in a couple months. But it does look pretty cool. Like I've been enjoying it so far. So what I like about Storygraph is that there are all these things that you don't have on Goodreads. For example, there are content warnings. You can also click to see community reviews, right? See reviews, and then there's also, they tell you what the moods are in this book. For example, Frankenstein is dark, reflective, mysterious. There's also pace. Is it character or plot driven, etc. And of course the average rating, which is something you have on Goodreads. But I just find that very neat. But yes, let me give you an update in a couple months to tell you how I like it. So far it's been great. So I kind of already checked out my stats, but I haven't spent a lot of time looking at them. So I'm going to be reacting to everything kind of as I'm showing you this. So let's get started with the moods. What was the mood that I read most of? It was reflective, which doesn't surprise me at all. I like to reflect on things. And then there's mysterious, and yeah, mysterious, yeah, that makes sense because I read a lot of thrillers as well. And if you click on any of these, you can see what those books were. Let's click on mysterious. I guess they're going to list all the thrillers that I read. Yes, I got it right. And apparently a lot of my books were emotional. So we've got The Meaning of Mariah Carey, which, oh my goodness, I can just say that I love Mariah Carey after reading this book even more. There's Conversation with Friends. Yeah, it's definitely emotional after that one. I was very angry. I didn't like that one. I had to DNF it. There's The Song of Achilles. Oh my goodness. There's yeah, a lot of great books here. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Definitely cry. So basically all the books that made me cry. Yeah. All of these kind of made me at least shed a tear. News that I read least of were hopeful and adventurous. Okay, maybe that's trying to tell me something. Next, we've got pace, and it looks very much balanced, which I'm kind of surprised to see because I love fast-paced books. Like, if I could choose, I'd choose a fast-paced book. But at the same time, I feel like there's something about slow-paced books that that you just love because of the beauty of how they're written, you know? Let's check them out. Let's see which ones were slow. So there's A Christmas Carol, Inquire How to Stop Time, Platform. Oh, this book. I read it at the very beginning of 2021, and I didn't get to tell you about it because I didn't have a channel. But I read it while I was in Paris, and it's about a guy, an English guy who moved to Paris, not to Paris, to move to France. And he talks about the cultural differences. And it's hilarious. If you like something like that, if you like culture and cultural differences, I highly recommend it. Moving on to page number. Okay, so most of my books were between 300 and 500 pages. And then we've got 35% of the books that I read had less than 300, and just 6%, so 2 books that had more than 500. And honestly, I don't know what they are, because if a book has more than 400 pages, it's kind of scary. So, oh, it was Pachinko, definitely worth reading. And Inkheart, it's fantasy, okay? And it's middle grade. So it's really weird that I read it, but it's one of my favorite childhood books. So it was like a little nostalgic read. It was very good. Next, we've got fiction and nonfiction, and I'm not happy to see this. I just want you to know, I wish I had read more than 3 books, 3 nonfiction books. That's definitely something I want to change in 2022. So that'll be part of my reading plans. And I don't even know. Yeah, well, there's the meaning of Mariah Carey, The Language Instinct, and Seven Kinds of People We Find in Bookshops. Another book that I didn't get to tell you about is very short, 128 pages. It's lighthearted, and it talks about us readers, right? So I could relate to it a lot, and it was a lot of fun. Next, let's take a look at my genres, and it's thriller that I read most of. So I read 12 thrillers. There's mystery, contemporary, romance, and the ones that I read least of: autobiography, biography, business, horror. I'm kind of surprised there's a horror book. Like, it shouldn't be here at all. I don't like horror. Oh, I know what they did. They counted Frankenstein as horror, which, okay, well, to each their own, but I don't consider it to be horror. And then there's also a number of books and pages that I want us to take a look at. I started kind of slow, and then it picked up in April, and then again in September, and then December was also very good, with July being the worst month, which it was a weird month overall. But yeah, I did read 1 book. I just couldn't find it because it's in Serbian. Couldn't find it on this app. Now I want to tell you about my 5 reading plans. And the first one is, I kind of started doing this towards the end of the year, and I'm glad I did. I want to continue with that in 2022, and that is, I want to DNF a book I don't like and not struggle with it, because it really doesn't make any sense. So if I don't like a book in the first 20 to 30 pages, I want to say goodbye to it and then pick up something I will actually read and enjoy. There are so many books out there. The second reading plan is that I want to read more nonfiction. As you could see in the pie chart, it really didn't look good. There's so many things you can learn from nonfiction books. My only problem with them is that I sometimes cannot concentrate. Like, I want to give them my full attention, and I like listening to books and audio, and I feel like I'm missing something if I don't concentrate, you know? Whereas for fiction, you can kind of miss a little description here and there and still be able to follow. But yes, want to read more nonfiction in 2022. The third one, I want to read more classics in 2022. If I could read like 1 classic per month, that would be amazing. Classics are kind of intimidating, and also they always felt like a chore because I had to read them in uni and high school. But now that I can finally enjoy them because I graduated, I don't have a deadline and I don't need to analyze them or do something specific that a teacher wants. I think I'll be able to like take full advantage of them. And my favorite books from this year, from last year, were A Christmas Carol and Frankenstein, both classics. So I think that tells us a lot about my preferences. Or I don't want to stress about how much I've read because I'm a slow reader. So I want to embrace that. You see, I don't want to compare myself to somebody who's read 11 books a month or 15. I mean, that's great, okay? But I'm a slow reader. Goal number 5 is that I want to read more. I want to go back to reading graphic novels and mangas because it's something I enjoy. And ever since I started my channel, I kind of put them aside. I didn't count them as books, which doesn't make any sense because they're definitely books, right? Of course, there are a lot of illustrations and images and all that, but still, it's something I want to do. Oh, I want to add an extra one. I know I said 5, but let's make it 6. I want to read in French and Spanish. I said it so many times, and I tried I'm still reading this book I started at the beginning of December. It's in French, so it's taking me a long time because I kind of see it as a chore. But I feel like if I continue with it, it'll become easier, I think. I hope. I know that's how it works. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my stats and my reading plans. Please let me know what your reading plans are, and let's chat down in the comments. Bye!